Nampak is Africa's largest packaging company with operations in South Africa, other African countries and Europe. It produces packaging products from metals, paper, plastics and glass. Nampak has a market cap of 20.2 billion rand, a price to earnings ratio of 15.6 and a dividend yield of 4%. When you look at players in this field, Paul, it's the big one within the packaging space.
Yes, certainly. Although it was a company that kind of went to sleep and nobody paid it any attention, and it developed a reputation for lousy earnings. So it went through a management transition and then another management transition. The current guy, Andrew Marshall, has done more cleaning up, moved the business away from some European assets that they got involved in, and he's pressed ahead on the African story, particularly in Angola, which is a big growth market. So I think you can see at the end there, it's starting to finally wake up. I mean, Bidvest even took a stake and then decided it was a bad idea and flogged it. So suddenly now people are beginning to wonder if this isn't potentially a growth stock again.
Your thoughts on Nampak? Is it a growth stock?
It's definitely not a growth stock. It might still be an opportunity, but I will never classify Nampak as a growth stock.
Yeah.
And overall, it is a very unexciting business model. They don't have any pricing power. They have to invest continuously in their capex just to keep up with their customers' demands. So, but having said that, their businesses in South Africa really generating cash. They're using that cash to expand into Africa. They've got the Angolan can line now that's producing about 700 million cans per year. They're thinking about a second one because the Angolan government has now placed a ban on all imports of cans, so they're really sitting pretty there. And then in Zambia, they've got a very nice business of providing the cartons in which you drink the sorghum beer, really doing well there as well. So the African story might just make it interesting.
Okay, Paul, hot or not Nampak?
Yeah, I think it is fair to say that they really battled because their fortunes were tied to manufacturers and they were getting chopped up by imports, and it really wasn't looking good. But I think tactically and in terms of the business, they've tidied it up a little bit. I'm not all that favorable about manufacturing companies that have import sensitivities and rand sensitivities. But having said that, it's definitely getting more interesting. The trouble with saying it's getting more interesting, however, is that it's normally once the share price goes up that people start saying it's interesting. So I guess if you were one of those value-oriented investment people, you could start looking at it, but it isn't one of our current hot stocks, no.
Okay, so not hot. And Nampak, hot or not?
I'm sort of medium to mild on Nampak.
We need a hot or a not. Yeah.
I'll say not, but yeah, it is an interesting story and it's definitely getting a lot of attention from the foreigners.